Well, I've been a producer and an editor out here in Hollywood for about 20 years now. Mostly doing like movies and documentaries, music videos, things like that. And I always stayed away from doing marketing videos and whatnot, just because there wasn't an efficient way to create them and do them at a low cost. So I stuck with kind of more creative offerings with my first business. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to pivot as things started getting a little bit saturated in the business, with a bunch of editors popping up and producers and people valuing actual talent less. And so I jumped into live streaming, doing like live events and concerts and seminars, and I got kind of thrown into this world of marketing, listening to some of these world-class speakers up on stage presenting and talking about marketing, and I realized there was an opportunity for me to kind of apply what my expertise is with the new technology to be able to provide marketing videos for companies and brands affordably and quickly. So I essentially just figured out how to use live streaming equipment in a way that it wasn't designed to, that basically allows me to eliminate 80 to 90% of the editing required to create marketing content. So now, for what lots of businesses might pay like a traditional video production company to create commercials for them, I can create tons of those commercials, essentially doing about 80 to 90% of the editing in real time. So it allows video to be accessible for people that are in the online marketing space. And so over the last year or so, I've been trying to refine it into something that could be presented to a larger pool of clients. And so the first kind of iteration of that is the main service that I think we're going to roll out with Agora, which is called Spokesperson Media Day. And it's essentially for businesses that need marketing content, whether it's Facebook ads or things for their sales funnels or their websites and things like that. And they have the type of business that doesn't require them to be the spokesperson. We have a ton of professional spokespersons that'll knock out their commercials in just a couple of hours. So they can sign up with Agora and get 15, 20 commercials done in a couple of hours that they can begin rolling out as per their marketing campaign. So that's kind of the main thing. I'm a 20-year vet with tons of international awards and awards on the production side, so I know just about anything there is to know about production and post-production. And I also speak marketing language, which is kind of cool. It allows me to talk to you guys and learn and execute at a higher clip. So it's kind of like a bridge between the marketing world and high-powered video production, really accelerated, and an offering that people can access that don't have huge budgets and whatnot to spend. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. So we have a couple of packages. Let's see, I'm getting an echo here. Okay, so we have a couple of different offerings here from Daniel's company. So we have the Hollywood starter package, and then as well as the blockbuster. So Daniel, would you mind just going into each of those packages and just kind of outlining, what that day would look like for the customer? Obviously, there's a price difference because one of the packages you're getting more content, more videos created versus the other one, and then there's also an add-on package. So would you mind just taking a few minutes to go over those three options that we have available?
Sure. I don't actually have it in front of me, but I believe the Hollywood starter package, which is the lowest offering, essentially is the client would get five videos, and they get a choice between 3 types of core videos that we offer. In the grand scheme, not related to this project, we produce over 50 types of videos. So just for this package, there's 3 main types of videos that they can get, which are online ads, problem solution videos, and traffic drivers. There's some video explainers here inside the the back end of the site that can explain those to you. But essentially, they're kind of for top of the funnel advertising. People that are running Facebook ads, people that are trying to attract cold traffic. These packages are pretty much for them. But the Hollywood Starter Package, basically, they get 5 videos, and they can choose between any combination of the 3 types of videos that we provide. The Blockbuster Combo Package is the same, except they get 15 videos, and they can make a choice between the 3 main videos that we offer. And then the third option that we offer is the add-on package. Add-ons are basically, once they purchase one of the 2 initial packages, they have the option of adding on 3 videos from these other 5 types of videos that we'll produce. So there's like advice tip videos, which are kind of like video blogs. So people that are doing more informational type of or educational stuff, if they've got blogs and they want to educate their clients, they've got advice tip videos. We've got landing page videos, which are great for squeeze pages and affiliate marketers. Sales funnel videos, which are for people that have a sales funnel built out if they need something that describes the who, what, why aspect of their offer. Email drip videos, which are great for like retargeting and automated email campaigns, and also traditional web page videos. People that aren't necessarily using funnels, but they've got like a traditional website, and they may want something that describes their services, or welcome video, or something that would go more along the lines of a traditional website. They have got web page videos. So essentially, there's 2 main packages: the Hollywood Starter Package and the Blockbuster Combo Package. And after they get one of those, if they want to add some other videos, they can add as many add-on packages as they like in groups of 3. So
that's awesome. So with the Hollywood Starter Package, we have a $6.99 price point on that, which is discounted also, by the way. Everything is discounted. So Daniel's provided a pretty nice, generous discount from what he would typically charge. And then Blockbuster is $1,299, and then the add-on packages are $299. And like Daniel said, those add-on packages, you can't purchase those by themselves. You have to either have the Hollywood or the Blockbuster, and then you can add on in groups of 3 so it basically breaks down to about $100 per extra add-on video, and you have those 5 extra to choose from. Because in the packages you have the online ad, the problem solution videos, the traffic driver, and then the add-on package you have 5 other ones: the advice tip, the landing page, sales funnel, email drip, and web page. So, Daniel, what would you? Because I know you've already mentioned, this is a very inexpensive service that you provide in comparison to some other like commercials and stuff like that. So could you kind of maybe speak towards what it would normally cost a customer to do or create something similar to what you're doing right now, and what that might charge them, just so we have a little bit of idea about the value that we have here?
Sure. If you just Google like spokesperson videos or something like that, first of all, you're not going to find a lot of companies that'll outwardly advertise their prices, because they know they're charging an arm and a leg for something that doesn't actually provide the value. But in general, on the low end, like one spokesperson video, most companies will charge by the minute, and they'll probably charge roughly $300 to $400 per video for a professional spokesperson video. And the time that it takes for them to shoot it and turn it around is significant as well. So for a typical 30-second, minute-long spokesperson commercial, on the low end, in the industry rates, is probably between $300 and $400. For a commercial, say for example, like a problem solution video, which is a little bit more similar to a standard commercial, most production companies will probably start around $1,000 for a commercial, for a 30-second to minute-long commercial. The reason why I'm able to drive these prices down and create so many is the innovative solution that I've figured out with this technology, which basically eliminates most of the post-production. That's usually where those costs come in for most industry, your traditional video production companies. They're still using old methods of production, which most people are, and I basically figured out a new way to approach production and post-production, which basically eliminates a lot of the time, and so that savings gets sent along to the client and allows people who couldn't normally access video marketing to have access, and also in the numbers that can actually have some actual effect. So if they have 15 videos and they know that they can run a month-long campaign or a 2-month-long campaign or even a half-year campaign, depending on how their marketing campaign is set up. But if you get 15 videos, even if you were just spitting out a new one every 2 days, that's a month's worth of consistent, new, high-quality commercial content. So that's kind of like the pricing structure and how it relates to the industry.
Thank you for explaining that. I mean, I obviously did realize that there's a significant value here when it comes to the price and the service that you provide. And I guess in your opinion, you'd probably say that you're able to reduce that price, like you said, because of the way that you're able to handle the post-production. And as a lot of that, you think mainly because you guys do a lot of like real-time live editing, so that cuts down on having to basically go and do all that post-production editing. Is that a good reason why, or part of the reason?
Yeah, I mean, that's the core reason why, but it's also, it's like I've got 20 years experience as an editor. So the skill set that I've developed, like I've edited just about anything you can imagine, and I've always stayed away from marketing videos because the amount of work that it took to create them and the lack of creativity was just not there. The price, that's why you see people charging so much. Because it is kind of a pain in the butt to produce. So if it wasn't for this innovative approach to using the technology and applying my skill set in this way, like you wouldn't be able to have this type of offer. So yeah, it's primarily the mechanism is being able to eliminate the majority of the post-production, which makes it worthwhile for me to create, but also for the user or the end user to get a significant amount of content that can actually help them, as opposed to just one commercial. Like if you're a big time attorney, sometimes one commercial that you can run on television is enough. But 90% of the people that we deal with, they're entrepreneurs and they're on Facebook and they're on LinkedIn and they're on Instagram. They need stuff that they can give to their social media manager and say, hey, you know what? Design me a campaign and run it for a month or two. Here's the content, and then let me optimize it with SEO and give myself an actual shot with my online content. So yeah.
That's awesome, and that makes perfect sense. I just wanted you to share a little bit about that. I mean, I've been talking and working with you now for the last couple of weeks. I've been learning a lot about you and your company. And I think it's really mind-blowing, phenomenal what you guys have done. Tremendous amount of videos out there, testimonial videos, example videos that you guys have kindly put together for us that outlines a lot of this and what they're getting. We did have a question. Gene, you want to go ahead and ask Daniel your question? I have the FAQs up, and it is, I think that does answer your question, but I know not everybody is looking at my screen, so if we could maybe get that question out there for everybody to hear, that would be great. Let's see, make sure Jean's not muted here. She is.
I was just wondering how long the videos were, but it does say on here that they're typically 30 to 60 seconds, and advice videos typically 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the normal range. The client will get to approve the scripts once we develop all their scripts for them and all their graphics as well. So it's really a turnkey, awesome, hands-off kind of experience, but they do get to approve everything, and typically they're about 30 seconds. If they want them shorter, like sometimes clients will have a specific target, say it's like Instagram or something like that, where they do want something that's a specific length, then we can accommodate them that way as well, but that's the typical length.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably a pretty good time span anyways. I know you and a lot of times you want to keep those videos pretty short because people's attention spans, are short these days with videos. So if you can capture the message or the offer in 30 to 60 seconds, I think it's a pretty ideal time. Then obviously when you're talking about the advice and tip videos and more informational ones, those obviously can take a little bit longer because you can't necessarily always explain or give the amount of advice in 30 seconds, with that, and at the same time being thorough enough to where people understand what you're talking about. Daniel, would you mind taking also another minute just to kind of talk about the spokesperson aspect of it? So with these packages, you're going to get a spokesperson for each for these set of videos, 5 or 15. But they do have you guys have options available, obviously, for the spokesperson. So can you talk a little bit about what the business owners, what options they have as far as, male, female, and that?
Yeah, sure. Anybody that signs up or a client once their sale is processed and they get onboarded with us, they get sent a questionnaire, an online questionnaire. It takes maybe like 10 minutes. 15 minutes to fill out that gives us all the information that we need about their business to be able to create their scripts. And then they also have an option of selecting their preference in terms of spokesperson. They're able to select by gender, age range, and also ethnicity. So once we get their preference, then we contact our pool of spokespersons that fit that criteria, and then we'll get a bunch of our spokespersons that are available based on their their schedule or whatever, that we'll submit, and then we'll take their pictures or their videos or whatever and show them to the client so that they can choose who they like. Sometimes they don't have a preference. They're just like, hey, I just want a female. I don't care what the age range is or what the ethnicity is, but if they do want to, have control over that, they basically they'll select what their preference is. Then once we solicit that to our pool of spokespersons, then we'll give them the results of our solicitations, and then they can make a choice or say, hey, Danny, I like Kim, or I like Johnny, or whoever. And sometimes depending on the availability or the scheduling, they'll get a group that they can select from and just say, I'm cool with anybody in this group. But most of the time we try to get the exact person that they want, or at least narrow it down to 2 people that they'd be happy with.
That's awesome. Vince, is there anything that you would like to add in right now? Because I know, Daniel, you mentioned something that definitely piqued my interest. You were talking about these videos are great for social media management. So, Vince, is there anything that you want to add in?
Yeah. One thing is I've been doing internet marketing for a long time, and a lot of people don't realize this, but only 9% of businesses actually utilize video in their marketing campaigns. And if you look at the statistics, that a website will convert 88% more if video is present or a landing page. And people are more, they'll also stay on that website 60% longer when a video is present. So there's 3 different types of videos. You have like informational, informational videos. Those are longer, like they give information. Then you have like commercial promo videos, and then you have testimonial videos. And if you look, we have animated videos, and you say, hey, we already have videos in here, but that's a whole different type of a video. Those are like the cartoon animated videos. This is where you have a spokesperson. So one of the things that I teach is the 5 pillars of the internet, which, I've gone over this before, but 1, the website, 2, you have reviews, 3, you have video marketing, 4, you have social media, and then 5, you have Google. Now, if you do your video marketing correctly, you're going to place that video probably up on YouTube. And I like what Keith teaches, because he talks about, making your making your website a destination. But when you post it up in YouTube. YouTube is the second most strongest search engine on the planet. Google owns it. So when you post a video on YouTube, that can also show up on Google. And like you said, you can easily place it into your social media, and you can also place it on your website. You have embed codes. And pretty much if you look at the videos right here, these are just embedded straight from YouTube. And we do it all the time. We make videos. We embed them on YouTube. So video marketing is one of the least underutilized things that most businesses do, and a business should continually be making new videos all the time. I believe that in my book they should have 1 to 2 new videos going out every single month. It's something that should be an ongoing thing. A lot of times a company will place one video up there, think it's enough, and then move on, and they don't realize that, wow, you're losing a huge opportunity here. So when we were putting a lot of the products into Agora, and we had the 5-pillar strategy, we were looking for different products that would fulfill the 5 pillars of the internet. So we had Ron, and we still have that, and that's a great option, which I highly recommend, the animated videos. But this is a whole different angle. This is where you have a spokesperson come in there, and an actor basically, and do the video for you. And if you go search on the internet, it's hard to find something like this. It's very, very hard, or like you said, it's very, very pricey. So, you know, here at Agora, we get approached all the time with different products. And when I heard this one, I thought, this is amazing. This is a great option. It's a great option for business owners. It's great for internet marketers, public speakers. And this is just another tool in your arsenal that you can offer to a business owner. And it's incredible. And Daniel, his background, I know he just hit on it a little bit. Jeremy, can you go to the About page? Daniel, can you tell us a little, I know you kind of went over kind of quickly, but can you kind of tell us a little more about your background? Because I really want you to see the value of, it's not just, you know, just getting the video. You have a very highly qualified Hollywood-type producer here that knows what he's doing. And this, what he said with the streaming, it's very, very unique. And so I can't emphasize it enough how important this is to a business owner, and then also how important it is to you guys when you're out in the field, what we have to offer. Daniel, can you kind of go into a little more detail about your background? And just, I know you went over it quickly. I know you don't like to talk too much about it,
Right.
but it's very impressive, actually. And can you tell us, like, how you got into it and, like, a little more into your accomplishments?
Sure. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, by trade, I'm an editor. You know, I'm a master editor. You know, I've got over 30 feature films under my belt. You know, thousands of commercials and music videos, and you know, I've won international awards. You know, at Cannes Film Festival, and you know, I've got awards.
What type of awards did you win?
I mean, when you know, with the film festivals, they've got you know, best feature film, best you know, you got, they have so many different categories. Like most recently, I won a best feature film at the HBO Film Festival for a film that I recently did called Forgiveness. So you know, my background is really as a film editor. And so, you know, my projects have been, you know, picked up by Lionsgate, Netflix, Blockbuster, you know, feature, you know, shown in theaters. So, you know, my background is from that, more of the creative side. Most of the high-level music videos for like MTV and BET and things like that, I kind of come from that world. So editing is like my thing. I'm a master editor. I've worked with, you know, some of my clients, you know, like major celebrities and, you know, large corporations and whatnot. So for me...
Can you list some of the celebrities you worked with? Can you
Sure.
talk about it?
Sure. Steve Harvey, trying to think, like Cedric the Entertainer, everybody from Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, politicians. You know, I've worked on political campaigns. You know, I'm trying to think. I don't have the stuff at the top of my head.
What politicians did you work with?
I've worked out here with Bernard Parks. With he was the police chief and ran for mayor. out here. I've worked with Gavin Newsom in San Francisco. I've worked for who else have I? I've worked for Mark Ridley Thomas. A lot of Antonio Villaraigosa. These are mostly California-based initiatives. I've worked with large national campaigns like with the nonprofits like Futures Without Violence. They're the largest nonviolent, anti-domestic violence organization in the country. Blue Shield. These are just some of my clients, but I come from that world. I'm an editor and a producer, so I know everything there is to know about production and post-production. So for me to create a solution that basically eliminates editing, I know that it has value, because I wouldn't do that, because it's basically like shooting yourself in the foot. If I'm an editor and that's how I make my money, if I'm going to create a system for clients that basically eliminates the editor, then it's innovative and it has tremendous value. And I think at my core, I'm an entrepreneur, and I know the value of having run my own business, my second business now, but having had my own businesses for over 20 years, I know where service providers are gouging customers and where they're being inefficient and where they're overcharging for stuff that's not providing value. And at my core, I don't like that. And so I've created a system that if I had my own business and I needed to market myself and somebody told me that video was accessible to me, I'd be all over it, especially when they see like some of the things that Vince was saying. It's just by 2019, like 90% of the traffic on the internet is going to be video. So, if small businesses aren't using video, then they're really pigeonholing themselves in a category that's going to be unsuccessful. So, I've just pivoted out of a market and whatnot that has been really oversaturated with technology changing and people without the skill set providing services at a very high price and not delivering the value. And rather than be associated with that, I decided to create something new that does maintain the value, and I can also pass on a lot of my expertise in the form of this proprietary system that allows people like us that need marketing and that are committed to it, who just need the access to get it. And it's a perfect partnership to be with Agora, because they understand the customer and they understand the sales and they're experts at the marketing side of it. So if you can arm people with the stuff that they need at a price point that is significantly within their wheelhouse, I think that we can do some really good things for people out there. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, we're very excited to form a partnership with you, and I can't stress enough to the people on this call here and that will be listening in the future how important this is, the video, but not only how important it is, who we have right here, we have access to with his skill sets and what he's offering to the business owner. It's just going to be incredible. Jeremy, could you also work with Daniel, and if you guys could walk through, like, if someone were to order one of these, like how to order and what would take place when they make that order, and like Dan, if you could just kind of walk through with Jeremy how that sales process will take place.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll start off with just advising everybody how obviously to go about ordering it, and then what form needs to be completed, and then Daniel, if you could just elaborate on that kind of the post-checkout process, what's going to happen between you and the client after somebody signs up. So from the marketplace, which is I'm on the screen right now, and anywhere, and once you're inside of Stream It Right, you'll see the drop down here. So this is pretty familiar for a lot of folks who have already signed customers up with different products, or some of you guys have even purchased some products and services for your own use. But you're just going to select from the drop down, and so if I were just to go with the Blockbuster package, I'm going to hit Add to Cart. And let's say I want to pick up, an add-on. I'm just going to add that to cart too. And like Daniel said, we can do as many add-ons as you want. So I'll add one more. So now I have two in there. And then you're just going to proceed to cart. I'm not going to necessarily go through all that right now, but it's going to take you to your checkout page. Somebody who already has a membership, once they go to the checkout page, all of the basic information, their billing information, all that stuff will be in there. They will have to put in the last 3 digit or the CVV from their card that never gets stored, so they'll have to put that in there, and then they just go ahead and create the order, or they proceed with the purchase. After that, and it says right here, after purchasing your package, please click here to begin the service setup. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that so you guys can see what this looks like. It's pretty straightforward. There's a nice little video here that Daniel and his team have put together. It's just kind of a thank you, a welcome, and pretty much how to proceed. So they're going to put in their full name and then their best email address, and then they're going to click yes and download the schedule. And so this is where I want you to kind of elaborate, Daniel. And after they've completed, put their name and their email address, and they hit download and yes and download and schedule, what's going to happen from there?
Sure. Yeah. Once they enter their email and their name, whatnot, they'll go to the next page, and it's basically just a scheduling page where they can book a time to talk with me or one of my staff that will basically confirm their order. And also, they'll have a link to an online questionnaire it's about like maybe 15 or 20 questions that they fill out, which gives them it gives us the information that we need not only to understand their business but also to create their scripts. So we know about what their services are, what their prices are, what their offers are, what their social media links are, what their what some of the keywords are that they're searching for, what the pain points of their clients are. It goes really fast. It's like maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, but they'll get that. But then they also have the option of they need to schedule a time to have a strategy call with me or one of my staff. So it'll just be like there's a scheduler basically. Say, hey, I'd like to set up my call for Wednesday at 10 a.m. or Tuesday at 9 a.m. They set that call up, and then myself or one of my staff will call them, review their order, confirm to say, okay, you've got the Hollywood Blockbuster package, you've got 15 videos. Do you have an idea for what types of videos that you're more interested in? And we kind of help them decide what combination of videos would work for them. We also assess, if they have do they have logos? Do they have existing material that they, like professional photos or anything that they would like to somehow integrate? So we really get an idea of where they're at, what they need, and then help them refine or customize their package. And then once we do that, then we go into our mode of generating the scripts, contacting our spokespersons, and then we communicate with the client via email and phone calls to get their approval for their final process, and we go from there.
That's incredible. I like that. I like that system, the way you guys have it set up. I think it always goes a long way with business owners and customers in general when you work very closely with them like that, and they feel obviously very much a part of the process. It's not just a product or service they buy and they don't really get any interaction. I know in working with a lot of business owners and a lot of the business owners that you guys work with, I communicate with a lot as well, and I always get that feedback that they really like that hands-on and being able to work towards that goal with somebody rather than just being, okay, they purchase it and they don't really ever talk to anybody. So that's great. I really love that you guys do that and you just work with them and learn about them and really what they want, because I think that's ultimately going to get them or make them the happiest, and ultimately provide that service that they're really, really looking for and the content. I believe due to everything, all the steps you guys take, that content is just going to be absolutely perfect, and it's going to help them drive a lot more business.
Yeah, because it also helps them like educate them as they're going as well. Which helps get the return customers. Once they've ran their videos and whatnot, hopefully down the road or whatever, they'll say, hey, I had a great experience. I need to get another couple months worth of videos, and let me call up, and then they'll talk with somebody or go through a process that's familiar with them. And, we want them to feel that custom that custom solution. I know it takes a little bit more time on our part, but I want them to experience the value, up front. I'm a big proponent of showing as much value as you can up front, and a lot of times, like Vince was saying, people, there's not a whole lot of businesses. They don't know. They're kind of like a deer in the headlights. They don't know what they need and what they want and the real value and whatnot, and they want somebody to hold their hand, at least initially. But once you deliver those videos to them and they see that it works, and they're like, wow, I'm getting a huge bargain. Let me re-up. And I like people to know that they're getting a personal experience. So.
Yeah, it goes a really long way, and that knowledge aspect, right? That teaching, that learning experience is, I think, invaluable as well. As I do get a lot of that feedback on my end, when I'm working with certain clients, maybe setting up business directory listings or one of the various different products or services that we offer here through Agora. I usually do get thanked a lot, and I'm sure you probably experience that same thing where they, thank you for taking the time to teach or explain that, because I really had no idea. So that sometimes just that teaching aspect, that brings so much value, and I think that gets lost a lot of times in business, is just slowing down and taking the time to really teach and educate the customer. Like you said, Daniel, it's great for repeat customers, and obviously that works really well in our benefit for referrals too. If they're going to return, they're going to be a return customer because they had a great experience, the product or the service that they received was fantastic, and they're going to be more inclined to tell a fellow business owner or somebody else who they think will benefit from that as well. So referrals and return customers, when you just take the time and slow it down, that's where you'll see a lot of the increase in those areas. So I know we got about roughly 20 minutes left. Daniel and I are still working on putting together some additional content in the marketplace. We're going to have a second offering. It'll be a completely different tile in the marketplace, and that's going to be the Media Day Combine or Media Day Extreme. Daniel, would you mind just talking a little bit about that? And maybe we need to have another call, because I think that probably deserves to be a whole separate call. But would you mind just going into that a little bit about that other one that we haven't really talked about a lot? And I know that is kind of the higher offering that you guys have available, but it's extremely valuable. These videos are wonderful. But that Media Day, what you guys do, I watched you review videos, which are in here. I specifically watched this one all the way through and a little bit of this one. But it paints a really great picture of what the business owner, this video right here paints a great picture of what the business owner can expect and what you guys do, which I just think is incredible. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, on the higher end, like the spokesperson videos, that's kind of like the entry point offering that we have. It's just for people that just need some content to go up on the internet and kind of like feed their marketing solution. But most of my personal clients, and the place where I can provide the highest value is developing customized solutions for business owners. So I've got, my clients are coaches, they're business owners that have undeveloped intellectual property, like fitness guys and, people that are doing public speakers and things like that, and they want their whole system built out. And like I said before, we create over 50 types of marketing videos, everything from webinars to, testimonials. Like, I know exactly what type of content my clients need to build out their full system. So the higher end or high ticket offering is going to be called the Media Day Extreme, and it's basically, I lay out a complete content marketing strategy for the client in terms of what videos they need, why they need them, and what to do with them. And I work closely with either if they have a marketing team, or if they're going to work with perhaps one of our other partners, like inside of Agora, like Mosaic or somebody like that that's designing a marketing strategy for them. I'll work closely with them and tailor the content needs for their marketing campaign, and then they'll come out to Los Angeles and spend a day and a half of production with me, where we'll create all of the content to go inside of their funnels, inside of their website, inside their membership sites. If they want to turn their coaching system into like a 10-part module, video training module that they can start selling from the stage. So we'll do that over the course of a day and a half, and build out, if they need their funnels built out, and all the top of the funnel videos for them. So it's basically getting access to me and my actual expertise in terms of being a content marketer and understanding video at a really significant high level, giving them exactly what they need, laying it all out for them, and saying, this is what you need in order to have a successful content marketing campaign. I can create that stuff within a day and a half, basically, and over the course of a couple weeks, build out all their scripts, help them build out their systems and their strategies, and then turn them over to somebody that can really fire it up on the SEO side and the online marketing side. But yeah, it's kind of like an experience. They'll come out to LA for 2 days, and we shoot tons of videos. I've got clients that, you knock out 50, 60 videos easy in a day and a half. I've done this for major news, major companies like Fox. They roll out TV shows and stuff, and they'll say, hey, let me bring Danny in, and we'll knock out, a couple hundred videos over the course of 2 days. So if you've got clients which are more my ideal type clients, which are coaches, speakers, people with undeveloped intellectual property, the Media Day Extreme, which is a higher ticket offering, is perfect for them, where they can cut a year off of what they would take to try to create their system of content. And I build out entire coaching systems for people, authors, people that want to make their workout systems a reality. That's pretty much what that offer will be.
Yeah, it's incredible, because I know with that offer, like you said, there isn't, going back to the video offers, right, the one that we've been spending most of the time talking about, you're getting 5 or 15 videos. But what I think is incredibly valuable about this offer is not only do you have access to Daniel, his expertise, his team, on site for a day and a half working with Daniel and his production crew, but there isn't really any set number of videos, right? It's basically, for the most part, as many as you guys can create in a day and a half. And like you said, that could be 50 or 60 videos. So if you take the total number of videos that you guys end up getting, and just say it's that 50 to 60, and you actually divide that by the cost, I think you're probably somewhere around maybe you could talk about what the actual price per video comes down to when you're able to crank that many out.
Yeah,
it's pretty cheap per video, right?
It's incredibly cheap, but it allows people to begin to monetize their intellectual property. So if you're a coach and you've got a book or something like that, and you're watching these other people sell from the stage, and you're just like, man, I could be doing that. I've got way better IP than them. Well, you've got to turn it into a system and some content. So yeah, we create. I lay it all out for them. Most people are like, wait, you guys produce over 50 types of videos? I didn't even know that there's 50 types of videos. And it's like, yeah, well, a coach might need webinars and video training, whereas somebody that's doing affiliate marketing just needs 60 Facebook ads, So the types of videos get customized based on their goals, and I have a 9-step process that I walk my clients through that it's kind of like we do it for you. I can identify what your goals are. I know exactly what type of videos you need. They get all color coded. I give you what I call a Bible, which is the basic instructions before we launch everything, and it lays out all the videos that you should have for your system. And then when you come out to LA, we prioritize them, and then we go in and we try to knock them all out. But we put the ones that are the least priority at the bottom. So, but there is no limit. It's unlimited marketing videos in that span. So, some clients are like, hey, you know what? I want to do a bunch of short videos, and they'll knock out a year's worth of content in a couple of hours. So it's really revolutionary, but it's also the proprietary IP of myself. That's where they're going to get the most value, which is why it's priced so high. You're getting somebody that's an expert at content creation that also speaks marketing. So I can speak with their marketing teams, or in an ideal situation, we'll be working with our partners within Agora that are master marketing strategists, people that build campaigns and can do take the content and the system and just push it really hard and just couple that as a bundle. That's the real vision. But for, if somebody can build out your coaching system in less than 30 days with all the content that you need for all your sales funnels and all that stuff, like, my clients are already all over it. They're like, oh man, if I can spend a couple of days with Danny and get a year's worth of stuff done in a couple of weeks, it's awesome. So.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. That the availability for them to be able to spend a day and a half, right, with you, and then when they're done with that day and a half, they get almost a year's worth of marketing content. I think that's incredible. And then they can do what they want with it throughout the year.
They get a full plan too. They get a full customized, laid out plan, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, take this plan and go show it to a traditional video production company and tell them that you need 50 videos for your system, and watch them laugh you out of the building. It's impossible, but the system that I've created allows us to do it, and people that understand that value, people that are selling from the stage, and people that have undeveloped IP, they know what it is. And our goal with Agora is to expose that to more people than I would normally be able to on my own. It's like, I'm not a sales guy, I'm a tech guy, so it's such a blessing for me to be able to work with Vince and Jeremy and all of you to help bring this to people that actually really need it and can begin to be competitive in the space that they're in and hopefully dominate it.
Absolutely. What would you think would be like a good lead in, if somebody on the phone wanted to go talk to a client, this week or next week, or what do you typically find as a successful conversation starter when it pertains to Stream It Right?
Well, I mean, I tell people all the time, people say, Danny, what do you do? And I say, what we do is C4. It's like we create content that converts customers. Or we create content that converts into cash. That's what we do. Is that what you want to do? Yeah. If you're not our ideal client if you're not looking to convert customers or convert what you have into cash. But most business owners, that's what it's all about. You either want to convert your customers with education or entertainment, or you want to convert that into cash, and that's what we do with with the three things that I think every business needs. You need a system, you need content, and you need a strategy. So that's the most simple message that I tell people. Say, Danny, what do you do? It's like what we do is C4. We create content that converts customers, or we create content that converts into cash. And in order to do that, you need three things. You need a system, you need content, and you need a strategy. And you can get all of those three things at Media Day.
That's great. And, I like, too, is the way that we've set it up with you is, we obviously work with all different types of business owners, different budget, different size companies, different strategies, different ultimate goals, for their company, for their business. So the fact that we're able to offer them, I think that, it's the same level of video content that they're going to get with the Media Day, which you're going to get in the video package. I mean, the quality a video is the same. But if you have a client who doesn't want to do, the full Media Day, whether because it's a cost concern or they just, can't travel to go to LA for a couple of days because they have to run their business, whatever the reason may be that bigger package, the Media Day, may not be a fit, Daniel's team is still able to go ahead and put together some really powerful videos, 5 or 15 videos. And if they do add-ons for, 3 videos for $300, so basically $100 a video, extra, they can still get an incredible amount of powerful content for their business that could still last them a while and satisfy those campaigns and those strategies and those sales funnels without necessarily needing to do that higher offer. But then there's a lot of folks who like Dan was saying, that really need to do that. They understand the value behind getting all of those videos made, a year's worth of content, and how many customers or cash that's going to convert, based on the content that they created. So I think we have a really good fit for anybody that we're talking to, the lower end offer, a middle offer, a high offer. So we should be able to satisfy every business owner's appetite, just depending on what the appetite is. So
yeah, we're going to try to develop a mid-range solution, which at least at this point in concept, it's called the Media Day Combine, which is basically for people that don't want the high-end solution, which is more the super customized thing. It's more closer to spokesperson Media Day, but with the client actually coming out to LA, and they would basically get a slot. So there would be multiple clients done in the same day. So they would get like a 2 to 4 hour slot or something like that, where they would get a finite package similar to the finite packages that are offered through the spokesperson version. But in order for it to make sense for me, we have to figure out the logistics and the price points and stuff like that, and that's just something that we have to develop. But we will try to put our heads towards a mid-range solution, so it's not for like somebody who's a like a coach or somebody that's really ready for that high ticket offer, but also somebody who does have the type of business that requires them to be the ambassador or the spokesperson, where they could actually participate in their own videos. And hopefully that'll be something that we can travel with, as we begin to do events together, marketing events and things that are centered around Agora and our partners, where Media Day, the Media Day Combine is something that they'll be able to engage in on the road, something that we could do in different regions as well. So.
Yeah, that's great. I think it makes sense too, because like you were saying, it's going to make sense, cost-wise for you to be able to offer that middle package, because they're going to give them a slot, 2 to 4 hours, where you'll be able to work with, maybe 3 or 4 clients in the same day. They're still going to get the great value that they get, from doing, a full day and a half with you, just in a short amount of time. So I think that's great that you thought of doing something like that, where it is more of a group, just a group of individuals, you know what I mean? So I'm glad
I've never been able to develop that, because I never had the sales force, which is why the Agora opportunity is such a blessing, and I'm so excited about it, is that it opens my ability to actually deliver more value in different ways, but a lot of that expertise is going to come from Vince and come from Jeremy and come from you guys, hopefully, that have some expertise more on the sales side, to say, Danny, this is how we can finesse or refine a package offering from the sales point of view that also works. So, it just takes some time, but it's like it wasn't developed for that. Like, it wasn't developed with a sales force in mind. So that's why you see the low end and the high end ones are more developed, because they were all centered around me being the person, So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. I know you just shared that with me briefly, I think just yesterday, so that's something, like Daniel said, that we're going to work on to bring available to everybody, and I just love the idea of doing something like that. So I want to open up for questions, feedback. Vince, if you'd like to add anything in as well. And then I do want to end the call with just showing everybody that is currently with us, and then anybody who's going to listen to this call later on, a couple of the new packages that we implemented, which definitely was going to tie in great with these marketing videos. So
we're open. I have a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the Media Day Extreme, do we have a price point for that yet? I have a client that is ideal for that.
Yeah, there is. So normally, Daniel, I believe it's $6,999. So basically $7,000 is what he normally does that for. With Agora, we actually have a $1,000 discount, so it's $5,999. That's the price point. So it's $6,000, normally $7,000. So we're getting a $1,000 off, which is, I think, incredible discount.
Perfect.
And like that's what kind of I was hinting to, and that's kind of what I was hinting to earlier is Daniel says that he's able to usually knock out somewhere in the range of 50 to 60 videos during media day. So if you were to take, the 6,000 divided by 60 videos, I think that's about $100 a video. So that's pretty good. $100 a video. If you were to go out and look around, a single video can run you $600, $700, $800. I think Vince probably has a little bit better statistics on the price points, but I know it's pretty high for one video. So then they're able to get videos for roughly around $100 a piece. That's pretty incredible.
And the value of that is Daniel spending the day with them. It's not just them going to get some videos. He's spending the day really working with them and give them high-quality videos, and then also tailor-making them just specifically for that person. So they're getting personal. They're getting a personal day with Daniel.
Yeah, and they get it all laid out before they actually come out here. So they've got it all laid out. They know exactly what they're going to get and what their solution will look like. And they feel pretty educated about what they're doing. And I think especially for coaches and speakers, man, they really love this. They just to be able to transform their IP into an actual marketable, sellable system. It's the clients they love it, and then they do like, actually, it's funny, they do like being in front of the camera once they've been kind of prepped and had an experience over the onboarding process with me. They're genuinely excited about their trip, and we get it in, and we do a lot of great work while they're here.
All right. So do we have any other questions out there? That was a great question. Thank you for asking that. Do we have any others? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our enrollment page really quick and just show a couple of the new packages that we put in last week. If you have any questions.
Jeremy, Bob, what was the figure that the videos are going to be doing something in 2019 or something?
Oh, yeah, Daniel, that is a good question. So, Daniel, can you talk about that? I know you had mentioned at one point by 2019, video is going to be a pretty heavy percentage of all the marketing materials out there.
Yeah, every year they come out with reports on video marketing, and they're kind of like the guidelines, and they're estimating that by 2019 over 80% of internet traffic is going to be video.
80% of, so 80% of what?
80% of all video traffic.
Actually, internet traffic.
Yeah, internet traffic. Yeah, I'm sorry. Internet traffic is going to be video.
Okay.
People love to watch video, and that's more engaging. They'll spend, a lot more time on a website when the video is present. So to have,
and also people they make their decisions based off of they associate credibility and trustworthiness with video. When they sample customers and they ask them about their purchasing decisions and whatnot, and I think it's something like 60 to 70% of people say that video influences their purchasing decision, and they consider companies that use video as more trustworthy. And I know this is something that Vince and Jeremy know, with all the stuff that they're doing with reviews and whatnot. If you can have your stuff tied in with your search engine and your review, the reviews of your company, if they're video based, it can do wonders for your business.
Okay.
Absolutely. Did that answer your question, Bob?
Yeah, so again, the last thing was 60 to 70% of the people feel that videos are trustworthy?
Well, they say that 60 to 70% of them say that video influences their purchasing decision.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it's around the same number. It may be actually a little more, I think it was 72%, but 70+% believe that companies using video are more trustworthy.
Okay, great.